Elon Musk is suing Sam Altman for $150 billion.
Which is like head and shoulders far and away more than anyone has ever sued anyone for anything. Right?
That's right.
So
Yeah.
what exactly is Elon's side trying to prove in this case?
Elon says he was defrauded out of the idea that this would be a non-profit company, and a non-profit company is the only way that AI should be controlled.
To be clear, there should be some kind of legal remedy for someone who invests, I believe it's $38 million into a foundation that is a nonprofit foundation.
And they rug pull you?
There's not only rug pull, I mean, there's literal written proof of them being like, we're edging this sucker out.
Yeah. Suddenly, the more money you have, the more insulated you probably feel from the doomerism that you previously subscribed to.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I want to go to the Met Gala.
So they literally ran into that problem in the beginning, which is like, oh
Sure,
fuck,
dude.
everyone hates all of our witnesses. The judge started asking people, can you put your feelings aside and judge this on the merits of the case?
It's like that sign you're talking about of like, let them fight or whatever. I hope they destroy each other. I really do. I think they're very dangerous for...
Whoever wins, we lose, though. Like the Alien versus Predator.
I mean, there's got to be some kind of beautiful...
Thank you, Mike.
There's got to be some
No, I love it.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Ben and Emil Show. I'm Ben. That's Emil. We are the weekly show that tells you what's going on. And what's going on this week is we got Elon Musk and Sam Altman, former best friends, virtually inseparable, and now sworn enemies. They're going head to head.
Elon is suing Sam Altman. And it's very odd. We talk about it a little with our guest, but it doesn't seem to be getting as much coverage as I would think it would be. And our guest, Mike Isaac, is a New York Times reporter. He's been in the courthouse with his colleague, reporting from this thing daily in the courtroom with Elon Musk testifying.
Close enough to smell him.
Satya Nadella, Greg
Sam
Brockman, Sam Altman. Unfortunately, Sam Altman happened today. We did not get to talk to him about it. And the conclusion of the case has not happened yet either, but it's fascinating. So it was very fun of him to come on and talk about, which could have massive repercussions. He's suing Sam Altman and OpenAI
for $150. No, $150 billion. And it's one of my favorite episodes we've done this year so far.
Really cool guy.
Mike's a really cool guy, killer mustache, and a lot of very interesting, valuable insights as to what's going on in the courtroom. So without further ado, let's roll the interview. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Ben and Emil Show. We're here with none other than Mike Isaac.
We got a very special guest
He's
today.
a superstar. You may know him from the Uber book, Totally Pumped, Super Pumped.
Totally Pumped is actually better. Yes, it's called Super Pumped.
Super Pumped.
Yeah.
Which they turned into a TV show.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah,
he's also
JGL?
a New York Times reporter.
Yeah.
And
any other braggadocious things you got to get off your chest?
I was going to say, I'm slightly overweight. I have a 401k. That's nice. I don't know.
That's pretty
cool. I lost
cool.
a few pounds this year. I got a Peloton. That's nice.
Good for you,
Congrats.
man. Wow.
But for our purposes, he's been covering closely the Elon Musk Sam Altman case. He's been in the courtroom. Yeah. It's very exciting stuff, and he's going to be telling us all about it. So thank you for being here, Mike.
Yeah,
thank you for having
me. And you were telling us right before we started that you've been up since 5 a.m. because you were at court. You're going to court every day, and it's a lot of fun, huh? I read your article that you put out today, too. By the way.
Oh my God, I think I wrote some of that. Yeah, I did. It's this crazy. So yes, I've been up since 5. It's been going on for like 3 weeks. And now I've turned into like a morning person, I think, because of it. But
that's cool.
It's this crazy thing where to get to the courtroom, you have to get there at like probably 6 a.m. because every person in tech who like cares about these figures who maybe the average person doesn't care about. They all just want to like show up. So if I don't get there at like 6 a.m., like I'm not going to get in the courtroom. Basically.
Right, and that's not just reporters like you. It's also there's some weird Elon fanboys trying to fill the room and just all kinds of weirdos. Right.
It's great. It's really like just from a like people watching perspective, it's incredible.
Oh,
it's
I bet.
Very much.
How many people are allowed in there? Like 60?
So as you might imagine, most of it is like lawyers everywhere. Like you have, so it's Musk versus OpenAI. Microsoft is another defendant. And so all of them each have like an army of lawyers. So half the room is literally filled with lawyers. And then the other half, there's 20 media seats saved, and we had to like apply for a press pass, but it's two of us, me and my colleague Cade Metz, who are covering it. So we're like switching off, and we didn't get two. And then there's 30 unreserved seats for whoever. And so I'll get there early on the days I want an unreserved seat, and then I'll switch with my buddy to sleep an extra hour and show up so I can get a media seat, if that makes sense.
That's very nice. Fun. Before we get too far into stuff, can you actually just explain what the hell is going on? Because I think
why is this happening?
I think it's been very odd for me. It's this is very in our wheelhouse, so we've been kind of paying attention. But when I look, at mainstream media stuff, I feel like it's not getting a ton of scrutiny right now. I've been very surprised, especially at I always check in on, the Wall Street Journal has, I think it's just called The Journal. It's their like little daily podcast where they pick a story. And I was scrolling through and I was like, wow, they have not dedicated a single day to this case. And I'm shocked because this could have massive consequences. So I do think there might be a large portion of our audience that really doesn't even know why the hell Elon Musk is suing Sam Altman, or that Elon Musk is even suing Sam Altman. So if you could maybe just explain why this is happening, that would be great.
Totally. And like, it's totally fair. And like, you're a normal human being if you don't know what's going on in this, I think, because it's like this business. Am I allowed to curse? Because
brother.
Okay.
Fuck
thank you.
yeah.
Okay. So I have a potty mouth. It's this totally like Byzantine contract law fight where basically Elon is saying, so first of all, as you may or may not know, OpenAI started as a not-for-profit company based on Elon, Sam Altman, and a few other like super in the woods AI guys thinking Larry Page is going to take over the world with AI and he doesn't care about humans, so we have to create OpenAI to save it. They work on this for a while. Then, long story short, there's a sort of acrimonious fallout between Sam and Elon because Elon says he was defrauded out of the idea that this would be a non-profit company, and a non-profit company is the only way that AI should be controlled because, and this is very socialist of him, once for-profit comes in, that can corrupt the goal of how AI can like potentially harm humanity in the future. And OpenAI's whole point is, fuck you, man, you pieced out in 2018 and you didn't sign anything, and also, by the way, we are an upstanding, still a nonprofit, even though we did this weird Frankenstein move of bolting on a for-profit company years later because we realized how much this company's worth. And so so this is like eventually a case that many people didn't think would get to court because Elon waited like at least like 6 years, I want to say, from leaving the company to suing. And only now that he's building a competitor to OpenAI with XAI, are people like, hey, like you now care about the morals and mission now that you have this like competing company
and a for-profit AI.
Yeah,
100%, exactly, which is another important point. But like we're in court now, and it's and like the stakes are real. Like to your point, why do you care? Because it could cripple OpenAI as they're trying to, I wouldn't say kill necessarily, but as they're trying to go public later this year with an already shitty P&L sort of like business and trying to like go public with a strong revenue stream. And it's fun, and like fun for people like me because there's all sorts of like gnarly emails and evidence that gets introduced into the public record.
One thing that I liked about your article today, you said, by the way, I tried something for the first time. I did the AI podcast version where it reads it to you.
Oh, I've never even done that.
I've never done it before. And
what do you mean? What's that?
It gives you the option to hit play at the beginning. It says, "Oh, like this is a 10-minute read."
Oh, it's just a narrative. It's just
It reads it to you.
Right. It's not like a podcast
because I can't read, so I had the thing to.
I thought it was like an Amazon, like in this podcast.
No,
Mike Isaac really.
No, it's verbatim. You saw the Katie Natopoulos thing with the.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So great.
What was it? I don't even remember what it was.
It was like hemorrhoid cream or something. Yeah. This hemorrhoid cream is really good. Wow, Janet, care to weigh in? Yeah, it'll keep your butt silky smooth. Anyway, first of all, it was really funny because the AI called it, instead of OpenAI, it would say open. It like the plural of it. It was just funny. But
I got to tell the product people. That's so funny.
It was funny. But
you're talking about the vibes piece I did.
The vibes,
the courtroom, inside the circus. Okay, sorry, yes. I thought you were talking about the other thing we literally published like 15 minutes ago.
Oh no, I'm talking about the one that came out this morning. I believe it was this morning. But you wrote that these are just human beings, which I think is a really probably the perspective that's most unique to being in the courtroom and seeing that. Oh my God, yeah, these are just weird nerds who you can see all their little quirks and affects and like facial expressions and tics and stuff. And I'm sure it really brings them down way, 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 way down to earth from up on high that like all the people on X would have you believe. Am I right?
Oh my God. It's literally, that's why, I mean, it sounds super lame to be like, I love covering court cases, but like, it's incredible because they can put armies of lawyers or handlers or literal like bodyguards and like bulletproof vests in front of them all the time and have these really big stage managed events, but like you can't get out of a federal subpoena to appear in court, you know. I mean, as far as we know right now. And like just being in the room, for me at least, like as a reporter too, just it's a vibes thing where you're just around people, you get the like feeling, you're like, oh, you're just a fucking dude, right? Like you get nervous like me, or you have a squish ball because you're freaking out on the stand.
Oh yeah, like, Elon's got a squish ball.
Is that the first time? Is that the first time you've been you've been in person with either Elon Musk or Sam Altman, or you've seen them before?
With Sam, I've known Sam forever, just because I knew him before he was like Sam Altman, you know, just because he was at which is not necessarily a flex of mine. It was more just like he was at Y Combinator, and his fame came like very quickly with the OpenAI thing. I'd never met Elon. I mean, he definitely didn't want to talk to me, but like I've also never like been socially in the same. We don't really party together or with the same people, so that was a first.
So what is that was a good summary of what's going on with I
don't know if we hit the point. Elon Musk is suing Sam Altman for $150 billion,
which is like head and shoulders far and away more than anyone has ever sued anyone for anything.
I think
right?
That's right.
So what exactly is Elon's side trying to prove in this case?
Yeah, I think the big things they keep hammering on are the idea that, one, OpenAI doesn't care about AI safety, which is like part of what Elon says is driving him. And by the way, like this discovery goes back to like decade-old emails in which Elon was. I'm not a huge Elon guy, and I don't really trust a lot of the things that he says, since he's like fully willing to say the opposite thing as a sort of, but he's been talking about this like obsession with being freaked out about AI killing everyone for as long as anyone can remember.
Yeah.
And whether you believe that's true or not, which I'm not like bought into it, at least he's been consistent on that. And
I mean, if Larry Page personally told me that I was speciesist for being worried about AI, I would probably be a fucking freak too.
That's right. That's right.
I will say we're not the biggest Elon fans here, as our fans know, but I do think that it is somewhat a noble thing that he was so early on saying this needs to be a socialized thing. There can be no one power. And I do remember, because I've been following all this stuff for the last 20 years, but I do remember Elon talking about, we cannot let AI get in control of the evildoers at Google.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Hey guys, we got to take a quick break to talk about a sponsor, Warby Parker.
Oh yeah, baby.
Warby Parker handles my entire eye care. You can't tell right now, but I'm wearing contacts that I got through Warby Parker. Also, health insurance does not make it easy for me to have cost-effective eye exams, so I just go to the Warby Parker store to get
everybody be going to the Warby Parker
to get
store,
my actual eye exam done there, and it's super easy. They shoot me my little prescription, and then I can pick out my glasses and contacts. I've had God knows how many Warby Parker glasses at this point. I've had so many different pairs, and then I've had the prescription sunglasses. They got me kitted out. I got my daily contacts through them with a nice little deal.
Everybody knows how much of a pain in the butt it used to be to go to the optometrist, get your eyes checked, and then you gotta look through all these dang glasses and try to figure out what's for you, and you gotta check with them to make sure that your insurance is covered. Before way back in the day when I used to do that garbage, man, oh man, did I hate it. I hated every part of that process, and God forbid if something went wrong, I'd have to schlep my butt all the way back and deal with all of that stuff with the insurance and whatnot again. But not with Warby Parker.
They make it easy.
Oh man, they make it easy. They got quality for a good price. The prescription glasses start at just $95. So you can actually get quality and stylish frames at an affordable price. They've got everything that you need: contacts, online eye exams, and sunglasses all in one place, which makes everything so much easier. Plus, they have over 300, count them, 300, I challenge you, retail stores across the United States. And maybe the best part of Warby Parker, for every pair they sell, they give one to me. No, I'm just kidding. They give a pair to someone in need. They've distributed over 20 million pairs of glasses to people in need through its Buy a Pair, Give a Pair program. So you really got nothing to lose.
They're also covered by major eye insurance plans. They make it incredibly easy to use. You just enter your information to see if you're eligible for benefits on frames, contacts, or eye exams. And if you are, they automatically apply them for you. So just right now, buy one prescription pair and get 20% off any additional prescription pairs at warbyparker.com/Baes. That's BAES. That's 20% off additional prescription pairs when you go to warbyparker.com/Baes.
So anyway, he's
got that point, and then the other gotta hand it to him point is they're trying to land is the fact that they're just saying they're trying to undo this thing that was supposed to be a charity essentially all along, like a nonprofit. And he has a point there too, you know, OpenAI has basically tried to, like I said, Frankenstein a for-profit company onto this nonprofit entity. And it has taken them a long time to do that and fight with AGs to get there. So whether or not he has legal standing to sue them as a former co-founder because of the time that's elapsed and stuff is one thing, but I don't think the points that he's making are crazy.
Yeah, right? I mean that's been the weirdest thing for me. Saying that we are not really Elon Musk guys is an understatement. And
I have to be a little more tempered.
Sure, and so reading your reporting and reading all this stuff about the case, it's genuinely so weird for me that I'm finding his argument sympathetic. But yeah, you're sitting there going, yeah. You started as a nonprofit. This guy funded your whole venture, and then you edged him out, and we're like, actually, we're for profit now. And we did this kind of fucky thing where the nonprofit owns us, but whatever. And so it's hard to. It's really difficult.
Is OpenAI trying to make the case that they did that? They ditched they went for profit out of necessity because of how much money they're absolutely hemorrhaging otherwise?
I think that's basically, yeah. So through discovery, one thing that the old emails are starting to paint this picture of between discussions with Sam and Ilya Sutskever, who's another sort of founding member who testified today, and other folks, is that and this guy Greg Brockman, who's key, he's the president there, is at some point they're oh shit, the amount of money we need for compute to train the AI models that they're building is going really up and to the right really fast. And I think this was post 2018, which is, there's, as you guys probably already know, the Google Transformer paper. These breakthroughs in AI allow better training of AI systems, like basically kind of a step function in how AI machine learning is starting to develop. And so with that comes enormous amounts of computing required to run what's called inference, to train these models on vast amounts of data. And like, so the point that OpenAI is even making is like, look, we've always wanted this to be a nonprofit, but how do you do that when what we're doing costs like vast sums of money that a nonprofit can't afford that can't like take in unless you just have donors constantly, if that makes sense.
Can we go through a little bit how this has been going? I know we're coming to the tail end here, and we don't have Sam Altman yet, but we've had some very high profile testimony. I think it went Elon Musk, then Greg Brockman. I think Satya Nadella is maybe happening.
It
soon,
was this morning.
This morning.
Yeah. And actually, I accidentally almost ran into him in the hallway while I was like shoving lunch in my face. It was very embarrassing. I was like, "You're worth $3 trillion," and I'm surprised your bodyguard didn't tackle me.
So, like, just from someone who has been in the courtroom, how has that been going? Like, Elon Musk had that famous quote where, like, you guys are going to be the most hated people in the world. Yeah. Is the court and the jurors, are they buying into that, or is everyone just coming out looking terrible?
So it's really funny. This is the other insane thing. Like, all of these random people have started invading my DMs, asking me like the odds of who's going to win, which I assume is like translating to like,
we all got to place our bets. Yeah.
Which I'm like, obviously I'm not talking to anyone, until you guys, click your bets right after. No, but like, but even if I wanted to, like, it is very unclear who's going to win this. And I think, in my opinion, because of a few things. One, this is a jury trial, and jury trials are like throw caution to the wind, sort of like you have no idea which way it's going to sort of blow a lot of the time. It could be like, that lawyer was a dick, I don't like him, I'm not going to like go with it, so I think that's the first part. The other part too is that even when the jury rules, there's something called remedies, which is what the judge decides. The judge could also throw the verdict out, if she wanted to, but she's typically someone who hews to respecting the jurors and their decision, but she still would have to decide remedies. So she could be like, hey, you owe the charity, which they would have to return the money to, $19 gazillion, and now you're destroyed. Or she could be like, you owe them $1. Yeah, you owe them $1. And so that is all to say, it is every time my editors or someone asks me, I'm like, I have no fucking idea, basically. But to your question, there's both sides are landing points. Like, they're putting points on the board, and like some of it is just, I think Elon had a very few first effective lines with hammering into the jurors' heads that they're trying to steal a charity, is the line he keeps saying, and right. I think punchy, memorable lines can really work on people. I'm not calling the jury stupid. I'm just saying, like, how do you, like, if your case is these people are trying to steal a charity and I care about the future of mankind versus here's like a bunch of contract law that we want you to understand. That's like a very hard dynamic, and so, but at the same time, OpenAI has gotten their licks in too. So I really think it could go either way.
Were there moments where Elon had, he landed his points, but there were some moments, if I'm not mistaken, where the judge had to kind of reprimand him a little bit because he was really going on some of these.
He was scaring the host.
Yeah.
He was like, well, because from what I remember, he was saying, he's trying to play so fucking dumb. He's like, I just care about charities. And this is, if this happens, if they're allowed to do this, then any charity is up for grabs. And I care about that. But then on top of that, it's the AI could, have you seen the movie Terminator? He's talking about that. And yeah, that's when I believe that's when the judge essentially said, you need to shut the hell up and stay on topic here. Right?
Yes. No, she did. She got really tired of him saying, like, she actually didn't allow some testimony around like existential risk, and like this one expert around safety AI expert saying like, yeah, we're all going to die. Like there's moments in the morning, it's like 30 minutes before this, maybe before the stream comes on, I'm not sure, but before the jury comes in, where she talks to the lawyers about what's allowed in and not, and certain stuff got struck because she said exactly what you said. Like, this is not an AI doomerism debate. That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing is like talking about a charity. So she had to like whack Elon a few times, and then when he was off the stand, like she would admit on he was like not a cooperative witness because he was just being very pedantic and like would get into fights with William Savitt, the lead counsel for OpenAI. So it genuinely is so much fun watching these people like bicker and squirm.
Oh yeah, I bet. So Elon's whole thing is just to recap, so make sure I understand it, is he's trying to say that OpenAI betrayed their original founding principle of we are doing this for the good of humanity, but it's pretty obvious to those of us with functioning brains that it's really that he's upset and he's butthurt, frankly, that he missed out on all of the accolades that now Sam Altman is getting, and he's kind of had to scramble to compete with OpenAI via his X thing. Is that about accurate, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's one of those weird situations where you're like, clearly you are conflicted and building a for-profit competitor to this company. Like it's
that you admit is cribbing off of OpenAI.
Yes. And and literally, like yes, exactly what you said. Like in court, he was training his own models on OpenAI. So like he's doing the thing that he's yelling at OpenAI about, and can he still be right even as he's being hypocritical? You know, like, can you say, well, also it's such a like the signs that are really resonating for me the most are like the protesters outside who are like, everybody sucks here, you know, everyone is kind of wrong, but kind of right in the same way. It's very funny.
I mean, if there was no cross-examination, you'd be like, oh, Elon, I'm with him. You know, he got they robbed this thing from him, and he's you had that quote in the piece today about how the Vibes piece where he was like, I'm really looking for a Gene Roddenberry Star Trek situation and not a Terminator 2 situation. And if you just know nothing, or if there's no cross-examination, you're like, yeah, okay, great.
I also like that. Yeah,
we got to make this guy whole. But knowing anything about this guy, you're like, wait, I don't remember in Star Trek the guy being like, I need $10 trillion and I'm like the most evil man in the world. So it's just
no, you're totally right. And I think to their credit, I think OpenAI has done a good job sort of trying to remind the jury, hey, homeboy is not like purely altruistic, even though like the whole beginning of Musk's counsel's like opening was like laying this foundation, not just like you're stealing a charity, but also trying to establish he has been focused on projects that were quote unquote for the good of humanity. Like he wants to build electric cars, he wants to go to Mars, he wants to do all that. So like I think they're trying to recast his image, certainly of later years, into this guy who's only been focused on humankind, basically.
Right. Does that do those points about making Elon look crazy and stupid for trying to make these arguments while also building his for-profit ventures? Is that kind of all they have? Because it does seem like when you have the Greg Brockmans come out, for example,
his diary.
They're also doing self-harm here a little bit with like, you know, is every time they get a lick on Elon, it seems like they're making themselves look silly as well. Is that like really playing into this?
I think they, some witnesses that, so actually all the witnesses so far have been Musk's side, which is probably not atypical. Like it's the plaintiff's side. Only today did they rest their case, and OpenAI's side, they called Brett Taylor, who's on the board now, and he's a longtime Valley guy, and then supposedly Sam tomorrow. But they've mostly been on the defense doing cross-examination with other witnesses. I would say another sort of card they played is talking to Siobhan Zillis, who is how to explain this? She's worked for Musk at a bunch of different companies, Neuralink, I think a Boring Company, Tesla, and OpenAI.
And
she
they
also
sex.
bore 4 of his children, which is which is the thing that OpenAI. And so like what OpenAI is saying is like Musk, even after he left, had this like mole inside of the board in the form of the mother of his children, and was like still knew what was going on, and like never objected to it, and like I think they have and like they would produce these emails like showing a equity structure of a for-profit version of OpenAI and giving Elon something like 50%, and he never objected to that. And so like they're trying to like also say dude knew exactly what was happening until it became inconvenient for him and he was building a competitor, basically.
Right. Hey gang, we got to take a quick break to talk about your style, because folks, guys, when you're putting your outfit together, it seems like you got everything, huh? You got your shirt, your pants, hopefully some underwear, your socks, your shoes, maybe some headgear, hat, but there's always something missing, right?
What really pulls it all together?
Yeah. Jewelry, man. That's where GLD comes in. They make the kind of jewelry pieces that become part of your routine, not just something you save for special occasions or once in a while. It's stuff that's going to make your homeboys jealous and the ladies, let's just say, taking a second look, you know?
Ooh.
It's not cheap stuff either. GLD only uses real gold. Every stone is hand set, and their production process is on a completely different level. You can see it. You can really feel it when you got it in hand. They got good, solid clasps and whatnot. You can just feel the quality. They got everything, too. Chains, pendants, bracelets, even a nice selection of watches. So whether you keep it simple or you like a little shine, they've got you covered.
And it's not just hype. They have over 2 million customers and 50,000 5-star reviews. Ooh. With GLD being worn by, get this, names like Justin Bieber.
Yeah, ever heard of him?
Malik Neighbors.
Uh-huh.
Micah Parsons. ASAP Rocky.
As soon as possible.
And more. The best part, every single piece is guaranteed for life.
For life.
If you want to look, feel, and be your best, or just want to level up any outfit, this is the missing piece you've been sleeping on.
Ooh, football boys. They've even got an official collab with the NFL, so you can get every NFL team on a pendant this season. They've also got official collabs with the NBA, WNBA, MLB, NCAA, NHL, MLS, and even DC Comics.
So football boys, make some noise.
Yeah, man. GLD can even create fully custom pieces, from one-of-a-kind pendants to iced-out chains designed exactly how you want them. If you've got a design in mind, GLD's custom shop will bring it to life.
And they've got pieces at every price point, so get in here, all right? Work hard and change the game. For a limited time only, new customers are getting an insane deal. Use code BAZE to get 40% off at GLD.com. That's 40% off with code BAZE at GLD.com. After you purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them our show sent you.
And he huffed and puffed and left and said, you know, fuck you guys, I'm leaving and I'm not funding you anymore. Yeah.
Yes.
I found that the Greg Brockman thing seemed to be the most damning, because from what little I saw online, they somehow got his personal I didn't know that you could subpoena or get through discovery personal journals, but wherein he says like, he basically cops to it. He says, gee, I hope it's okay that we are kicking Elon Musk out and lying to him and switching to a for-profit model. Boy, oh boy. But also, man, I stand to make billions of dollars. Isn't that essentially what he said in his personal journal?
So good. My favorite, did you see the memes online of like The Wire? Like when, it was so good. It was a Stringer Bell moment where a guy is taking notes during them talking about drugs. Like, are you taking fucking notes during a criminal conspiracy or something? And it was literally, I mean, I'm not claiming they were breaking the law, but it was literally that, like, just like real-time mind dump of everything. I didn't know that you could do that either, but dude has been journaling, and he said this in court. He's like, it's been very painful for me to see my entire like brain poured out on paper and then used against me later on.
Yeah.
And apparently he's been journaling in court still, so he hasn't learned his lesson. But
That's right.
It is, I mean, this is always surprising. It's like every time they do discovery, it's like you just cannot believe people are like, oh, we should write our we should write our crimes down to each other. It's unbelievable. It's really beautiful.
My theory is that Zoomers are particularly fucked because they don't do phone calls. So like it's all gonna be just Slacks and text messages forever.
Do you think that the Mira and Sam Altman text messages were those intended to damage Sam Altman's character or something, as proof that OpenAI didn't even trust their own leader at that point?
Yeah, I think that's a real. A lot of this, I would say, on both sides is like attempts at not character assassination, but just sort of like pulling back the idea of these guys are not what they seem, or at least not what they're portrayed in public. Like for Musk's side, it's like even Sam's closest colleagues like created a memo and said he was an untrustworthy piece of shit and fired him, and there's reason, right? And then OpenAI is like, Elon Musk is a scumbag and DM'd Greg and Sam and said he was going to make them the most hated men in America like 2 days before the trial started. Like it's a ton of it is like both sides trying to convince the jury that each CEO sucks, basically.
How do you even find jurors, especially in the Bay Area, who are like untainted by these guys in their constant rhetoric that we're all getting force fed each day everywhere we turn?
No, so they literally ran into that problem in the beginning, which is like, oh fuck, everyone hates all of our witnesses, and like had to say, the judge started asking people, you know, can you put your feelings aside and judge this on the merits of the case? Like, sure, you hate Elon, or sure you hate AI or whatever, but do you feel like you can be impartial on this? And eventually, enough people said, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like, I'm very curious how much of that will still play into, because humans are humans, you know, but like I think that's ideal, or eventually is like that's where they're hoping to net out, basically.
Right. You said that Ilya testified today, right?
Oh yeah.
How was that?
Incredible.
Tell us about it. Holy shit, man.
Him.
He's like the good guy throughout all of this, right? He's like he's what Elon thought that he was, right?
Yes.
He's the actual altruistic, like, both of you guys are fucking psycho, I'm out of here,
he's
right?
Like, I'm genuinely scared.
Yeah.
So 100%. And like, it's one of those things where I've been in the industry, or I've been writing about tech for like a while, and I'm typically not fully jaded, but just I don't instantly believe that everyone is in it for like the good of humanity and stuff or whatever, you know, and like you're like, oh yeah, you want to fucking save the world, whatever. But like this guy, like, I don't think I've met a more earnest sort of dude who believes this, like, I only care about AGI, I don't care about money, I only care about like what AI is going to do and clearly like socially, let's say, awkward in some ways, but like just
you don't
like
say
in a very techie way, but also like incredible sort of like I posted about this, but he has this sort of like Dostoevskian Russian literature depressive element to the way he speaks. It's really incredible. He's like, something about selling your company is like the death of a dream, and you can't sell the company you have. Like, it was beautiful. And also he just started like scanning the room like the Terminator, like not looking at people, but just like, it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, this is the AI guy I want to like profile, because he's like the true believer, you know, like forget all the other people.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and I think I was trying to decide which side he would be better for, because on the one hand, for the Musk side, he was probably effective. He laid out how he felt Sam was totally untrustworthy. He created, along with Mira Murati, this CTO, Chief Technical Officer, this like essentially a dossier of like, here's all the messed up shit that Sam does to give to the board. And that led to Sam's ouster, and he's also on the board, or was. And so like that from this guy who's considered generally revered, I thought landed pretty well with the Musk side. But then the OpenAI side questioned him, and they were like, he sort of admitted, look, like, not all the stuff in that document was like fully vetted, and I said that to the board, and then other members of the board said they didn't care when I told them that. So like, kind of shook the foundation of how much the jurors should believe the board who fired Sam.
Gotcha.
So I think he was effective for both sides, but yeah, he was incredible, man. I really want to like hang out with him.
I bet. Is Mira Murati going to be called to testify at all?
So she did a deposition, actually. So she was deposed, and they only played a video because she was in New York for the Met Gala instead of testifying at the trial, which, you know, I guess I get it. I probably would have gone to the Met, but no, she did testify, and then hers was pretty damning, I would say, for the OpenAI side, because it was all about how she was like, Sam is a big scumbag, basically.
And what was, can you talk at all about Satya Nadella's testimony this morning?
Yeah.
Like, what was the Musk side trying to get him to cop to?
I think it started with the OpenAI side, and OpenAI used his testimony to paint the board as incompetent. I mean, Satya essentially, he said, like, what did he say? It was like amateur city over there, basically. Like, he was pretty, because they didn't give him a clear answer on why they fired Sam. He was like, he immediately jumped to, oh, this is criminal, or like, this is like, you don't fire a CEO of a company unless there's some sort of like skeleton in the closet that is like crazy. And then after the second day, after day 2, this was Friday night, Saturday, he started to realize there was like not a smoking gun or whatever, and was just upset that the board couldn't give him like a straight answer on like why you fired him in spectacular fashion. And so I think for the OpenAI side, it was like painting the board as incompetent. I think for the Musk side, it was there was this line. So Microsoft's also a co-defendant in the case, so they're kind of like trying to go after Microsoft as well for money, which also benefits Musk, and kind of showing how there's some emails that Nadella had about saying they didn't have the IP and they really needed it in order to not become irrelevant, and then also like hinted at what was it? It was like hinting at sorry, I'm just trying to remember the line he landed, but something about like hinting at like they didn't have this IP and they didn't want to become IBM, and they needed the IP, and they were trying to I don't remember how they made it, but it's sort of like referencing it as a for-profit company rather than a non-profit company, and that they needed to invest this money and get equity in order to gain the IP, which is like a direct line to like, this is not how a charity is sort of treated, basically. Right. It's like more of an investment. And Satya sort of pushed back, and he was like, no, this is a charity, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know. I don't think he was a great witness for OpenAI or Microsoft, because again, it was more of an abstract point, but for the Musk side, because it was a little more hard to connect those dots, but he probably would have helped. He probably did help OpenAI by saying the board that fired our CEO sucks because they couldn't point me to any like concrete thing, if that makes sense.
What I keep bouncing around in my little pea-sized brain is, why is it such a bad thing to go from being a nonprofit to a for-profit? Why can't people can change? Why can't companies? Why can't charities?
Well, I mean, just listening to you talk, I mean, God, I like, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, I wish all tech guys were just like Sutskever, you know? Like, I don't want Mira going to the Met Gala. Honestly, I want guys who are like, what is that? I don't care about that. I'm trying to save humanity, and that's all I care about. Totally. Like, I think anyone who watches this show knows we probably feel like these guys are like sickos, man. It's like, I don't. It's very scary, you know. it's like that sign you're talking about of like, let them fight or whatever. I hope they destroy each other. I really do. I think they're very dangerous for us. I think
whoever wins, we lose though. Like the Alien versus Predator.
I mean, there's got to be some kind of beautiful.
Thank you, Mike.
There's got to be some.
No, I love it.
There's got to be some kind of beautiful situation we can get where like OpenAI is forced to wind down, and it also screws over Elon. I don't know.
No way.
I don't know.
So that's. Hey, gang, we got to take one more quick break and we'll be right back with Mike Isaac. But first, we got to talk about your hair. Is it thinning? Is it starting to make you feel anxious?
Are you wearing a hat all the dang time?
Yeah. Are you wearing a beanie? I know one guy out there is always wearing that beanie.
Tim Pool.
Yeah. When thinning starts, it's not just your hair that takes a hit. It can change how you feel day in and day out. Hims makes it simple to take control of hair regrowth with personalized care that fits your life. There's a lot of noise out there about hair loss. You got 10-in-1 shampoos. You got guys all over on TikTok giving random advice and crazy, techniques to massage your scalp and whatnot. I don't know about all that.
But this is all legit, okay? Hims offers convenient access to a range of prescription hair loss treatments with ingredients that work, including chews, oral medication, serums, and sprays. Doctor-trusted ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil can stop further hair loss and regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months.
Oh, yeah, man.
You shouldn't have to go out of your way to feel like yourself. Hims brings expert care straight to you with 100% online access to personalized treatment plans that put your goals first.
Folks, I've been putting minoxidil on my face for the last couple years, and just look at this mustache. I was not able to grow this before, so that should tell you something. For simple online access to personalized and affordable care for hair loss, ED, weight loss, and more, visit hims.com/bays. That's hims.com/BAES for your free online visit. One more time, hims.com/bays. Featured products include compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. See website for full details, restrictions, and important safety information. Individual results may vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. What happens if Elon wins? I know you kind of alluded to, even if the jury says it's ultimately up to the judge, but like, what is the worst case scenario if Elon wins?
Sure. So, let's say, okay, I'll start with Elon loses. Elon loses, everything is the same. Like, this is why Elon is actually in a great position, because all he can do is chuck rocks, and then all he has to do is pay lawyer fees, which is like fucking pocket change.
Yeah.
So to him, if he wins, let's say the most devastating outcome, judge awards $150 billion in damages, which is insane, and like more than they have raised, I believe, to this point. It's like a more than a 10% of the market cap. Well, the valuation, not the market cap. She could make them unwind the for-profit structure that they spent the past 2 years creating and revert it back to the nonprofit. Also, the $150 billion in damages would go to what Elon is asking is for it to go back to the nonprofit. So
it'd be paying themselves.
Which is weird, right? But it's because he's trying to say, I'm not enriching myself. I don't want your money.
Right.
I'm the richest man alive. I just want it to go to saving the world and making safe AI. Like it's actually probably a smart strategic play.
Well, so is he kind of saying, if you award me $150 billion, I'm basically just giving it right back to them, but the charitable wing, right? Okay.
100%. And then
what a nice guy.
I know, totally selfless. And then make Microsoft de-invest because of that. And then the sort of coup de grace would be remove Sam Altman and Greg Brockman from the top of the company, basically entirely from the company.
Wow.
And so I would argue this doesn't necessarily kill OpenAI, but it severely fucks them up, especially at a time where literally they're trying to IPO this year. Here's all the shit that's going on. They're trying to IPO this year. They have Anthropic eating their lunch because they have this insane coding product that has gone from like 0 to 1,000 in revenue in like 4 months, basically 6 months. They have SpaceX bearing down on them, and while XAI sucks as far as models, going public first in what will literally be the biggest public offering of all time could suck a lot of cash off the table for retail investors who want to get AI exposure, which is another sort of complicating thing. And then like and then they also have like their own partner, Microsoft, trying to hedge their bets and not like fully being invested in OpenAI and building their own stuff with Copilot, which also kind of sucks, but like they're doing like it's not all just OpenAI. So I just feel like OpenAI has got like a lot of guns pointed at its head right now.
Who do you want to win?
I don't care. I'm just here for the ride. I literally, I mean, I think your point is well made, which is like, are we supposed to like be happy if either side wins? Like, is there a version of this where you walk out of the courtroom and like, hell yeah, I'm really glad? I don't think so. Like, no. It's still, let's say it's still two of the most powerful people in the world deciding what may be, I'm not even going to say something that kills mankind directly, but let's say very consequential technology that has the ability to alter society, if not because it's so powerful, but just because it's can profoundly mess things up in a lot of ways, environmentally, disinformation, whatever you want to call it. You know, like this stuff does change outcomes in our lives, from a labor perspective in the economy. So I officially, I don't have any preference, but I also think like soberly, we should think about what that means depending on who wins and loses. And it doesn't seem like a great outcome either way, unless you're really on one of their sides.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems like,
I also have to do the New York Times guy thing of like giving you a long wordy answer that says nothing. And just like, who knows? I don't know. So.
No, but I mean, I get it. Cause when I think about it, I'm like, all right, I kind of want Elon to lose, but then it's just back to the status quo, which is fine, I guess. But I'm trying to think about it seems like if Elon were to win, it would probably actually ultimately hurt him, because it feels like that would be the impetus for the I put in quotes, the bubble popping. Because,
oh, that's a good point.
I mean, Jesus Christ, the implications of that are so unprecedented and unknown. If something so big as OpenAI,
are you saying like if OpenAI goes
having
down,
to wind down, like what the fuck does that look like?
It is crazy how they are like a too big to fail sort of thing, like cog in the machine at this point. You know, like they are invested in by world governments. Literally, the U.S. government is like hooked into them. Like all these hedge funds. That's the other like scary thing. Long before this trial is like how much of our like index funds and the American economy is propped up on all this shit right now.
Man.
That is where the S&P 500 growth is happening right now. It's the only reason like people retirement funds are still kind of going up is because of all the fucking insane build out in AI infrastructure.
That's exactly
and so
right.
if that pops, that's scary. I agree.
Yeah. But then I'm sure that within 2 weeks, the market would process it and go, okay, so everything's still fine, though, because Anthropic is still spending money. XAI is now picking up the slack, and all that money that's being sucked out of OpenAI has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's going to go into Meta, and it's going to go into Google and all that shit. But
that's a good point.
And even then, if Elon wins, like you said, there's a possibility that the judge just kind of, backhands him and says, like you originally said, oh yeah, you've got $1 is what it'll cost you. But then it's like, what does that change? It doesn't really change anything.
Yeah.
It really is a confounding case. It's really just a matter of it's like two warring siblings tattling on each other, and mom ultimately just saying like, you're both schmucks. Just stop. Go back outside and keep playing. Yeah. Like it. I don't.
Reminds me of. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It reminds you
I was
what?
just gonna say. It reminds you of. Have you ever seen the movie Burn After Reading?
Yes.
At the end, so it's incredible. I just rewatched it. What did we learn here? Nothing. Whatever. Fucking incredible. But it feels very real.
That's like my favorite send up of DC like security state stuff. It's just so funny.
Perfect.
It's unbelievable.
We have your shit.
but yeah,
that is Brad Pitt's best role.
God, yeah.
I mean, he's unbelievable. His face right before he gets shot in the closet is like ironed into my brain.
Good.
but yeah, I mean, as we've been going through it with you, like I did kind of start sympathetic to the Elon thing, but just as we go through it, and we kind of touched on it here at the end, which we weren't talking about in the beginning, this whole IPO thing, which I think has come up in some of your reporting, is like that's just another thing that makes all of this timing so odd, right? Like there's these colossal IPOs, and there's only so much room for everybody. Yeah. And he obviously wants to come out the winner. And my God, that's like, I'm just sitting here with this terrifying vision of like Elon just consolidating more of this horrific,
it's fucking ridiculous
empire he's building.
I keep going back to, this isn't what OpenAI did. It doesn't strike me as illegal. It's just kind of immoral, I guess, which is not something that, I'm surprised that it's even made it this far to court, actually. Unless I'm wrong. Is there a law?
But to be clear, there should be some kind of legal remedy for someone who invests, I believe it's $38 million into a foundation that is a nonprofit foundation, and then
they rug pull you.
There's not only rug pull. I mean, there's literal written proof of them being like, we're edging this sucker out.
Yeah. He stinks, by the way.
I think it's in the state's interest to be like, hey, we actually don't promote those kinds of business relationships because it's bad for the public.
Totally. I mean, and just Ben, I think to your point is important in the sense, kind of what we were talking about earlier, and like how should I feel about this, or like the thing, like it just feels gross, and like. One real lesson for me, not just in this, but I feel like I think this is a Silicon Valley thing, is like they started when it was like a bunch of guys sort of kind of navel gazing in the sense of like, what if we have a Terminator future? I'm scared. And like also backslapping like in a real jerk off way of like, here's all the things that like could happen. Mm-hmm. And then ChatGPT happens, this moment where OpenAI had no idea it was going to be what it was as far as popularity and like the most popular downloaded app in history. And also like a little bit before that, they're realizing there's like real momentum in AI and like the potential for it to be a company. And I think as soon as like the dollar signs and the, not even the money, but like the power and the ability to sort of like corner, be on top of this X thing, this whatever, latest trend is, something just like turns in one's head in this industry, and all the sort of like starry-eyed altruism from before seems a little less pressing and a little less important, and like only, like literally only, I'm not trying to glaze them too much, but like Ilya is the only person I've heard consistently talking about that in terms of like, I don't give a shit about the money, I want this to be safe, da 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 da. And I don't know, I think that the Valley is about power and conquering and staying on top, and it really can pervert things that might have been like real or true or initially like well-intentioned, and that's the real, as someone who's lived here for 20 years and like was kind of attracted to some of the stuff going on out here, like that's the real bummer for me, is what I would say.
That point you made about chat, I feel like I was reading somewhere that that even so, whatever, they edged him out, and they edged Elon out in like 2018. But I think someone was saying that even after they did that, it really wasn't until Chat GPT gets released in, what is it, 2022 or something like that, where they just start going crazy. And so even that period between 2018 and 2022, they still had that mission driven, like, we're doing this for good. And then all of a sudden they get a hit app, and they go nuts.
Being good sucks. It is for losers. We're just going to be so big we can't be stopped.
Which is just crazy. They just see some dollars. It is
suddenly the more money you have, the more insulated you probably feel from the doomerism that you previously subscribed to.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I want to go to the Met Gala.
I want to have stalkers trying to kill me. I want to be that important.
I do like so much of this, like, and this is what I'm probably not me. There's probably a book in this for someone, just because like so many of the like arcs are just like, we see them all the time in this, but it's always about maintaining power and then being cool, like going to the Met, hanging out with fucking whoever. I guess the Met isn't cool anymore or ever, but like whoever goes to the Met, like
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, right. Although has he as someone maybe 30 years younger than me says, has he high key fallen off or potentially low key fallen off?
Low key he hasn't.
Well, ever since he ragged on the ballet and the opera, I think people were
but people are tripping.
But yeah, it's funny. They have this connection to these these characters now. Kind of, they've broken containment from Silicon Valley. And in your article, I was like, "What the fuck?" Ari Emanuel is coming in with his what is it? A Harrods bag with his little pillows, and you just like
so good. He does not like me. It was very funny. I don't know how often you've been like fully snubbed, like multiple times in a room full of people, but he was like, fuck you. Not he was with his mannerisms. He was like, fuck you. And I was
Why?
Like,
what did you say about him?
I mean, they just don't. I think Elon, I know, doesn't like me, but also just like, and he's like, Ari is like Team Elon. But I think that.
And to be clear, Ari Emanuel is if you don't know, he's the head of, or was for a long time, WME, the massive, most powerful agent, Hollywood agency.
Yeah. Totally. The guy who I never watched the show, but Entourage, that one character is based on an Entourage, and like he's this like super agent and a powerful connector. Also the owner of the super yacht that the photo of Elon in the bathing suit got taken, which is funny. But he's like just kind of a bulldog and also a loyal friend to Elon. Like he showed up. He didn't have to be there, but he showed up on the days that Elon was testifying and stuff. And I think. I think they just don't think I am being fair to them or whatever, which is fine. Like it is what it is. And
which I feel like oftentimes with guys like this who are just extremely unsavory, any reporting on them is like, oh, you just treat me so unfairly. You hate my guts.
They're very sensitive to it.
Yeah, they're extremely sensitive people. So they're just human beings. They're just human beings.
That's right.
So what do you expect from Sam Altman's testimony? And I guess a follow-up question to that, and we can probably wrap it up thereafter, is what are you expecting to hear from the OpenAI side when they finally present?
So this is the funny thing. We're almost done. Like we have this week, and I was actually surprised. So we have this week. So Musk's side rested its case today. Brett Taylor's on the stand. He's just saying everyone in OpenAI is great, basically.
Remind me who Brett Taylor is.
So he's if you're not like in the Valley, you don't know who he is. But like he was formerly Facebook CTO. He was on the board of Twitter when Musk took Twitter over, and then he's like one of these like professional board member guys who is seen as like Switzerland and like an operator, but like someone who you can trust and is upstanding basically, and like. If there's a short list, the funny thing is Larry Summers used to be like the guy always on that short list, and now he is mega canceled. But like Brett Taylor is like the guy that everyone in the Valley goes to when they're like, we need a respectable board member. So he got called in to be on OpenAI's board after the first board imploded, basically. So he was testifying then tomorrow. Likely Sam, and then that's probably it. And that the judge is saying closing arguments on Thursday, and then we go into deliberation. Friday, there's no court, and the jury just starts deliberating on Monday.
Wow.
Would you mind going briefly into the Larry Page cancellation? I'm not up
or
on
the Larry. Sorry, Larry Summers. He's
Larry Summers.
Do you remember the Harvard?
Yes.
Epstein? Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was Larry Page, and I was okay.
Oh man,
Larry Page is not as canceled as far as I know.
Larry Summers doesn't look like that much of a pervert. Come on, man.
Yeah, Larry Summers, Harvard economist, and was asking for girlfriend advice from Epstein and just the general creep, and
So
it was gnarly because all of that stuff was coming out as the OpenAI board stuff was coming out, and like so I got a source that was talking to me about the Larry stuff, and then he gets booted, and like that shit was crazy. But yeah, it's all these people are in the same like little circles, and
it's so incestuous. It's I think even the guy is OpenAI's lawyer used to be Elon Musk's lawyer for other shit. It's like everyone's just, it's a giant.
Everybody's getting rich except for us off this trial. God damn it, man.
That's right.
I mean, it's just all
tens of millions of dollars in lawyers' fees, I'm sure. God.
Oh yeah, those guys bill by the second, not even hour. Yeah.
That's the real winner. No matter what happens in this case, the real winner are these law firms. It is 100%. By far.
100%.
And us to an extent, because we get entertainment.
I was gonna say
we get entertainment.
We have created content, which is all I want to do.
So they're gonna accuse Sam Altman of stealing fizzy lifting drinks. That's from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
You lose. Good day, sir. I thought you'd appreciate that. Mike.
Oh yeah. As the fucking resident unk of the podcast, I will laugh at your old
hey,
person.
What'd you think of that? Hey, what's that art you got in the background? I like that with the goblins and the What is that?
Are you? Let's see. We got. Oh, that's a little like kaiju crazy. This tattoo artist that I go to in New York. Actually, highly recommend. His name is Kiku, and he does a lot of like little weird kaiju Godzilla stuff all over the place.
Nice.
There's like a Godzilla on the side over there.
Oh hell yeah!
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. This is my middle-aged man room where you can see my like guitars that I buy and things that I am.
Yeah,
like,
you got a lot of guitars.
To being young.
Oh man, I miss playing guitar.
I like the turntable back there.
Yeah,
it looks like maybe it's become more of a storage unit, but it's okay.
Yeah, I know. Just shit on it. Although it's all like guitar pedals, so it's still kind of cool.
Okay. It's all on theme. That's okay. I got a dusty turntable that I always am feeling guilty about, and every time I move, I have to move my hundreds of records with me and whatever. That's
oh
not me. I got an iPod.
That's the price we pay.
Can you? Before we go, I've always wondered what is with your Twitter avatar with the
there it is.
the poop bear,
Charmin bear,
but with a mask and smoking a cigarette.
So I think I'm just like resigned to this fucking scatological humor of my avatar. So literally there's nothing deep about it except I've been on Twitter since 2009, which is really sad. And I remember when there was this period back in the day when all the companies were like, we got to be on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Like, and what do? We need to like have a personality. And so Charmin gets on and all they do is start tweeting about like taking a shit. And I thought that was incredible. I just thought it was very funny to have your corporate identity be that.
The internet used to be so fun.
Oh,
yeah. It used to be so fun, the internet.
Yes. It was very much a throwback to like a different time. So all I did was just like take the I mean, it's not particularly creative of my I was just like, I'm going to be Charmin Bear now. And now I'm resigned. Actually, I got to send you a article. Literally, BuzzFeed wrote a piece on me when I joined the Times on whether or not the Times would make me get rid of my Charmin Bear avatar.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wait, when did you join the Times?
Fucking 2014. Almost 12,
was that
12 years ago next month.
Was that prior to the Ben Smith days then?
Yes. Yeah. Ben was at BuzzFeed, and I almost worked for him, actually. And then he joined. Did he join like during pandemic or something like that? Yeah, long before Ben was there, basically.
Yeah, no, he joined before that because I worked there. 2015.
I was going to say you were there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was. I was a branded content copywriter, man.
Oh, hell yeah! Dog.
Oh yeah,
you probably did the Charmin shit tweets too.
Probably,
well, right?
man. 10 new creative ways to wipe your butt. That was the best job that I ever had. And I do feel bad.
Fun.
I talk about it sometimes that I feel so bad for some of the people who were just lifers there who probably were banking on their stock. And it's just,
oh my God, yes.
Dude. And
you saw the news literally as we were getting on, right?
Yes. It's an AI pivot or something? I thought that was old.
Stepping down as president. He's stepping down as CEO, by the way. He is now president of AI.
Wow.
And this guy, Byron Allen, who's I guess a comedian / entrepreneur, has purchased a 50% stake in the company. And this guy's like a joker because he literally has also taken over the Stephen Colbert. It's super depressing, basically.
Oh man, yeah, it's a bummer.
Were you on the Silicon Valley tech beat the entire time since 2014?
Yeah, man. I was.
Wow.
I was a. You'll laugh, but I was a music journalist before in like 2000. 2007 to 2010, and then I was like, there is no money in this, and I got an internship doing tech stuff covering tech in 2010, and I was just super lucky because it was like the place I was at was like, you should write about Facebook and Twitter, and this was as they were pre-IPO and coming up, and they didn't have anyone, and I timing basically. So since 2010.
Were you covering music in the Bay Area during that time with like the OCs and all the garage rock stuff?
I am a big OCs fan. I was writing, and I was actually in Decatur, Georgia, working for a magazine called Pace Magazine, which still exists but no longer in print. And then I was writing, and then I was here writing for Performer magazine, which is like a musician's magazine, and then. It's cool though because like the music editor at the time's let me still like pitch her stuff, and I get to do the occasional like feature for her. So
that's cool.
That's actually fun, yeah. And then tech is my day job, which is tech is fun too, but like the music shit is my secret passion.
You've probably seen some wild stuff since 2014, I imagine.
I will send you my Instagram. It's all my losery, I'm still young photos of me like loaded at some random show in San Francisco.
Hell yeah.
We are still young.
I see John Dwyer around LA sometimes, and he there's something about him that intimidates me, and I'm always just like,
no, you guys. Okay, so literally, 2024, I flew down to see a TV on the radio show at the El Rey, which was a great show, but I run into John at the show, and I'm like also like half drunk. So I was like, blah! And he just like, he like gives me a hug and we take a selfie. He was like a sweetheart. You should say hello. He's a very sweet man.
Is he a journalist?
Wow. He's the head of the OCs.
It's like this like psychedelic like Bay
I know the OCs.
Okay, got it.
But I didn't know that was the name of the
Damn, we were supposed to be at that TV on the radio show, but we couldn't go.
It was a really good show. It was a really good show. Sorry.
My cool thing is Mark Everett from the Eels lives in my neighborhood, and I see him sometimes.
Cool.
Yeah,
he is. Oh man,
he's so cool.
The other day, I love his glasses.
I love he wears them every time I see him. He's wearing those glasses. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
I feel sorry for our any of our Gen Z audience who's just watching elder millennials.
What are you guys talking about?
Elder millennials talking about garage rock and.
They love it.
We had this thing called indie sleaze, okay? And
well, I think guitars are cool again. I don't know. That's what Charlie.
Hell yeah, they're cool again. Thanks to Geese. And
I
those
think
guys.
Geese and MJ Lenderman are putting elder millennials on their back. They're bringing rock back. I just got my Geese tickets. I elbowed every Gen Z out of the way.
I remember the pain of going to my local Tower Records and having to buy tickets when they went on sale, and the Ticketmaster girl at the kiosk had to
type it in. Yeah, totally.
Those were the days. It was kind of nice, and you got an actual physical ticket.
I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, Mike Isaac, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time. I've been wanting to have you come on the show for the longest time. And
I'm sorry it took so long. Thank you.
No, it's
sorry
okay.
For me, like canceling and stuff. Thank you for
you
got to have the right
attitude.
You got to have the right topic and the right time, and then I'm glad the stars finally aligned. Where can people find you? I mean, we're going to tag you and stuff, but if you want to plug anything.
Yeah, I guess I write. Well, I'm at the New York Times. I'm mostly on Twitter, honestly. Like all of my like insane id comes out there, and it's way more fun because I don't get edited there. So but yeah, also the New York Times. And if you want to read the book, it's called Super Pumped, but whatever.
Super pumped.
Yeah, very fun Twitter follow. Recommend.
Yeah, highly recommend.
But thank you so much, man. This was so fun.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
Get some sleep.
I will.
Coming up on this week's episode of benandemilshow.com.
Thanks very much. I'm KFI in the sky, which is the name. That's how the guy on KFI does the traffic reports, and he always ends it with KFI in the sky.
And he's in a helicopter.
Or like a small plane, whatever it is. And
that's crazy. They got a guy just in a helicopter.
I know. I think it's like they're
you would think they would just
multiple radio stations usually use the one guy.
Oh,
yeah. Kiss FM.
It's not a guy
just for that one station, no.
Stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, thank you, 2 girlfriends.
Yeah, I get 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays now, 2 Valentine's Days, and every holiday now I get 2 girlfriends. And
Well,
when we walk down the street, they hold my hands and they dangle me like the chain.
Do you do a flip sometimes?
Yeah, I do a little daisy chain kind of.
Are they very tall?
Yeah, they're both about 7 feet tall.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wait, but why do you do 2 separate holidays with each if they both?
Because I told them that I want double everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, double the kisses, double
and
the
they're
fun.
Like, mystery guy gets whatever he wants.
Yeah, exactly. Remember when I helped you out of the parking lot?
Remember I whipped my leg and now I'm collecting disability for the rest of my life because of that?
I don't mean to guilt you both, but I do want 2 PlayStations.
Like, how do you explain fault
Like,
to a
hey,
child?
you left the sink running and the sink is overflowed. That's your fault. Why is that funny?
Because you wouldn't say that to a child.
Sure I would, because that's something that a child would be stupid enough to do, is leave the sink running and then it overflows. That's your fault. It's not my fault, it's yours. Do you understand now? It was your responsibility to turn off the sink. And now I blame you because it is your fault. Was the idea that I explain concepts to children?
No.
Oh, because I like that. I would do that. I would love that.
The idea was that we would get words and try to explain them to children. But I like much more you chastising a child for doing something.
I'm just giving them an example.
You left the faucet on. That is your fault. And I'm blaming you, and it was your responsibility.
Give me another. Let me try.